Welcome back once again to our channel TechZone. Airbus and Boeing have joined hands in writing a letter to the US government stating the concerns and problems they could introduce from the soon-to-be active 5G wireless networks, which could greatly impact commercial air transportations where the signal could harm their safety. Imagine not being able to safely travel on flights. Let's talk about this issue more clearly in this video. Airbus and Boeing have always had a competition running between the two huge airline corporations from the aerospace industry. Airbus was the pan-European consortium, while Boeing absorbed its former arch-rival, McDonnell Douglas, in 1997. Both the companies are traditional rivals and have been accusing each other of receiving unfair state aid from the respective governments. The executives of both the companies stated in the official letter, which is sent to the US government, that the 5G interference could very highly affect the ability of air transports to function and operate safely, specifically mentioning that the signal could have a very high negative impact on the aviation industry. So, what is the aviation industry? Aviation is the activities enclosed within or around the mechanical flight and the aircraft industry. This includes the fixed wing and rotary wing types, morphable wings, wingless lifting bodies, lighter than aircraft such as hot air balloon and airships, etc. This is what the aviation industry is all about. The FAA, or Federal Aviation Administration, is working with other aviation and wireless industries to find a proper solution to this problem. They are searching to know what can be done to allow 5G wireless networks and aviation to safely coexist, for it will not create any harmful effects on any of the air transportations. While that work is ongoing, the FAA has also appointed operators that notices air missions, which may be issued to restrict operations in areas where 5G interference is possible. It will also provide additional information to the research about aircraft system safety without anything being affected. This month, the FAA insisted on flight diversions, for it would provide a clearer form of information before the 5th of January, which is the reported extended date for the launch of 5G. AT&T, the telecommunication company, and Verizon wireless network operator company, November. The two well-known wireless corporations have postponed the commercial launch of the C-band 5G wireless network to adopt precautionary measures to limit the effect it will create on the airlines and save them from any form of complaints beforehand. With all this help, the aviation and the aerospace industry groups still have said that the measures didn't go far enough with both Airbus and Boeing. They fear it might still create huge effects, not only normal effects but negative effects on the airline transports, and could also put a huge burden on top of the airline market and industries. So leading to this is where the counter-proposal, a secondary proposal, was made, which was mainly specifically mentioned to limit the cellular transmissions. That is, the 5G wireless network to be limited around airports and critical zones that are related to the functioning airlines. And a solution to this was created last week, where Scott Kirby, the chief executive of United Airlines, said the 5G directives of the FAA would work towards minimizing the use of radio altitude meters at about 40 of the biggest airports in America. And a solution to this was created last week, where Scott Kirby, the chief executive of United Airlines, said the 5G directives of the FAA would work towards minimizing the use of radio altitude meters at about 40 of the biggest airports in America. The wireless industry group in the US, the CTIA, has reported that 5G is safe and also accused the aviation industry of creating false rumors about the interaction between the airlines and 5G network. They said that a delay will surely cause real harm. Pushing back deployment 1 year would subtract $50 billion in economic growth, just as our nation recovers and rebuilds from the pandemic, CTIA Chief Executive Meredith Atwell-Baker said in a blog post last month. But in contrast to this, the FAA CEO stated that the impacts of allowing 5G to deploy are massive and come at a time when our industry is still struggling from the COVID-19 pandemic. These Federal Aviation Administration members have announced a new rule about the launch of 5G, also as a precautionary measure, which is to forbid pilots from using auto landing and other certain flight systems at very low altitudes, compared to the usual measures that they use. So by that, the 5G wireless signals will not interfere with onboard instruments that might measure a plane's distance to the ground. But this very rule itself could create disruptions in some flight routes involving low visibility conditions. There is a potential risk, the FAA said, that the 5G signals could lead to faulty readings that may make flying unsafe in these conditions. This is a problem not only to the aviation industry, 5G wireless launching mission, and Airbus and Boeing, but also to normal people who use flight as their mode of transport. It's reportedly unsafe for passengers who travel in the flight if there is any dysfunction in the signal detector, also known as the airspeed indicator, which is one of the main functions of a flight. This is controversial not only to the aviation industry but also to the huge aerospace industry cooperation like Airbus and Boeing, which led the two rivals to join hands. This is a very big moment in the history of the airline industry. What do you think about the fact that the launch of 5G might disturb the signal interaction that happens in a flight for it to fly smoothly? Leave your comment below and don't forget to put a like and share this video with your friends and educate them on this issue.